like this.
What's good, y'all? Welcome. I need to stop playing with this goddamn mic.
Well, he got all sexy.
Right.
What's good, y'all?
Like the quiet storm.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another beautiful, luscious, sexy entry of Love Like This. Tonight we are. Don't look outside. It's tonight. Tonight we are joined by the one, the only, the beautiful Nicole The Soul, a.k.a. Nicole The Soul.
Thank you, everybody. It's so good to be here.
I'm going to let you know right now, I'm terrible at intros.
Okay.
This is the
That's all
first great intro
Okay.
that I've done so far, but I had to come correct for you. So
Wonderful. I appreciate that.
I am ecstatic to have you here. You are always a ray of sunshine in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are the best. Welcome to Love Like This,
I'm excited to be here.
the Love Cast, where we speak on the before, during, and after of falling in love. I'm happy to have you here because I have been doing this one-on-one men series where I've been asking men about the origin of their love. I didn't realize how fulfilling it is to find out like where people's love started and how it like shows up.
Yeah.
And the only genius idea I could have when it came to talking to these men about love was I need to talk to the women also. So
Gotta have both sides of the coin. You know what I mean?
Got to.
Because love starts with the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it starts.
Maybe I should go into non-binary next. All they love is coming.
All they love.
So I know you as well. I was introduced to you as Nicole The Soul, and in the theatrics, the fun side.
Yes.
But recently, we have been. You've been coming over, and we've been talking just genuine friendship conversation, and coming to learn that you have taken on the mantle of Nicole The Soul.
Yes, Nicole The Soul.
I know it. I want the people to know it too, because I truly believe that this is a beautiful place that you're in with this. So can you let me and everybody else know one more time, what is this Nicole The Soul that you're taking
Nicole The Soul is like the rebranding of who I am, and it's like where I'm moving into next as far as career and life. So I've been known as Nicole the Pole for the last 18 years. This professional pole dancer, multiple pole studios. I've traveled the world. I've toured. I've done all the amazing things. I was on the Kardashians last week. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you. Y'all need to go on Hulu and watch that episode.
Call me Nicole the Pole Dashian now.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I've toured with Snoop Dogg over the last few years. I choreographed for Beyonce Renaissance Tour last year. Just a lot of amazing things. And this how pole dance has taken me around the world and helped me touch literally hundreds and thousands of lives.
Yeah.
But then there's also Nicole The Soul. That's who I really am at the core of everything. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a psychologist.
Wow.
And I wanted to help parents be better parents to their kids. That's why I love that we're doing this love conversation. But I feel like I'm here to help transform people's mindsets, to help people switch their perspective up, and to help them realize how powerful that they are.
Yeah.
And to help us learn how that our words, our spells, they manifest everything, right?
Yeah.
So Nicole The Soul, my new moniker, is all about me helping people tap back into their soul and be powerful beings. We got superpowers. We really have a lot of superpowers. So I do spiritual life coaching. I do Reiki. I do sound baths. I do Akashic Records. I'm leading psilocybin journeys. And so I'm just looking forward to growing that and affecting more lives, but in a new way. So affecting the mind and the heart now versus just the body.
Yeah. Oh, see, now you're
So I'm bringing it all together.
Yeah,
I'm helping people throw that ass in a healing circle now. We can still throw that ass, but it's going to be in a healing circle. Yeah. So bringing it all together. I'm still going to do pole dancing. I'm still going to teach people how to twerk and, have fun and be sexy, but we're going to also bring in that soul element too.
Okay, that's good. I'm so happy that you're really enriching and fulfilling everybody in all aspects.
In all aspects.
Yeah.
I've always been about mind, body, and spirit, so it is actually cool to see it all coming together.
See how you manifested that, use the words of
I
spell and brought it together.
My ex-girlfriend actually came up with that. We were trying to think of something else, because this is back in 2016 when I actually got certified to become a life coach. And we were trying to think of something, and she was just like, Nicole The Soul. I was like, it rhymes. That's so perfect. And my middle name is Nicole too. So
Yeah.
if I would have gone by my first name, which is Darian, yeah.
Darian the Soul.
I would have no cool moniker with Darian. So yeah, Nicole it is. Nicole the Soul, baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. You said something very interesting to me in that you, when you were a child, you want to be a psychologist.
Yes.
And I want to know what child wants to be a psychologist.
So I grew up with a very volatile and bipolar mother. So growing up with her, and
I grew up with a Jamaican mom, so it's pretty
it's
synonymous.
the same. Maybe my mom's got some Jamaican in her. But my mom was a hot mess back in the day growing up. You know, she was trying to figure it out. She had me when she was 21. And her childhood left her being where she was just kind of like all over the place. And she did not necessarily handle her emotions. And a lot of what she was going through got taken out on me. So growing up with that, I remember feeling like, if there's a God, why am I being treated like this?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't make sense for somebody to be so angry or mean or like popping off on me and beat my ass when I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Right.
So like, there can't be a God or else I wouldn't be treated like this. So I remember praying all the time, like, I'm going to be a psychologist and I'm going to help parents be better parents. Like, I remember like having those thoughts. And then guess what? 20-something, 30-something years later, I'm helping people be better people.
Wow. You know, what I love about doing this like one-on-one series and talking to people, that I find tidbits of everybody's childhood that is literally like a twin version of mine. When I was a kid, I saw the volatile relationship between my mom and my dad. And so I said to myself that I'm going to do the opposite of what my parents do. And then I'm going to be an amazing man to women as long as I just don't do what my parents are doing. And I will have a healthy relationship. So I even wanted to take it upon myself to like make sure that any woman I come across is comfortable and happy in any type of way.
That's why Mila's happy. Wow.
Yeah, well, you know, I went through 18 years of like straight of like my mom and like the kind of like relationship that we had, because similar to you, my mom would go off on me anytime she had a discrepancy with my dad. So it's like
fair. It's not fair.
It's not
but
fair
it
to
makes
children.
us who we are. Like, I held a lot of hatred towards my mother growing up, and it wasn't until I started doing my own self-development work. Like, I did all the work. Like, I'm not the person that just like read a book. Like, I'd done the programs galore, working on this stuff, and then I finally realized, like, okay, if my shit was like the way that it was, my mom's shit was actually 5-10 times worse, right?
Yeah.
And so no wonder she's behaving the way that she's behaving. But because of that treatment, it made me be who I want to be today. And had I not gone through that, I'd be doing something else. Like, I wouldn't be thinking about necessarily helping people had I been raised even better than that. You know what I mean? Like, I'd probably be working a regular 9-to-5. I wouldn't be an entrepreneur. Both my parents are entrepreneurs. So it's like, I got a lot of special gifts out of my mom. And then the way she was, I was like, I'm going to be the complete opposite also.
Yeah.
And I came up in a different time, too, where I got access to more things to help me improve myself. Whereas my mother had all the books, you know what I mean? But she wasn't necessarily deep diving into the work, whereas I can now. And then I can kind of bring it back to her. And I feel like the more that I heal, my mom actually heals, too.
Yeah.
And she gets better, too. So
Yeah. I definitely truly believe in that. Heal yourself, heal the world.
That's
like,
right.
The more love I have for everybody, I have enough that I can spill over and help everybody else. That's the volatile side. That is the aggressive side of your childhood. But what is like love and marriage like for you when you were growing up?
So
if it wasn't,
I had this dichotomy. So I had the crazy mother side, right?
Yeah.
And growing up, my mom is a single mom, and then I had my dad and my stepmom, which was like the Cosbys. Right?
Yeah, so I knew you were gonna say that. Like,
it really
was. The prototypical,
it was
altogether.
Total opposites. So like, I remember going, I wish I could stay with my dad. Because I had my dad, my stepmom. My stepmom treated me very well. She didn't treat me like I was, some redheaded stepchild. The food, the house was stocked with food. You know what I mean? My dad had money.
Snacks.
And when I was over there, I felt rich.
Yeah.
And then when I went back home, I felt poor.
Same with me.
I didn't understand it too. But it was good to see both worlds, I feel like, also. But that was where I saw love. I saw that at home. My dad told me that he loved me. I didn't say that with my mom, but my dad, that was always the thing. Before we got off the phone, before we went to bed, when we woke up in the morning, he'd be like, "Wake up, sleeping beauties." You know what I mean? Like, I got that there. And then him and my stepmom got along so good. They did not argue. My dad always made sure he kissed my stepmom before he went off to work. And they're just so even tempered. Like, I was just over there the other day. They just in there watching TV, sitting on the recliner. My stepmom's on the recliner. My dad's on the couch. And they just talking shit. Like, they be cracking jokes and stuff. And she trying to tell him, this is what happened in the movie. Pay attention. I'm trying to tell you. And they just, they cackle, but it's like in fun. Like, we make hella jokes. So I grew up experiencing like this image of love with my dad and my stepmom, but I also wasn't raised in it full time. Like, I stayed with my dad in the summers, and I stayed with him in 3rd and 4th grade. But other than that, I was with my mom, who I didn't see a healthy relationship at all. Like, I didn't see nobody. She dated a couple people, but she never was in any type of long-term relationship the whole time that I was growing up. So, yeah. I'm crazy.
You know, and it's even interesting because for me, I didn't see it in my immediate family, but outside of that, I saw other people's relations, like aunts, uncles, friends, and stuff like that. And my friends, I would go by friends' houses and see their parents like living just regular parent love life, like having kids, and I'm saying like, I know it exists.
Yeah, it's out
I might
there.
not have it. I know it's out there, so
Exactly.
I know I'm not tripping. And that's one of the reasons why it made me want to be better, because I think that otherwise I would have just been like, well, this is just the way the world is. But knowing that there's better made me also want to be better, which is why we need them good examples.
You do need good examples, and I think if more people realize, if you don't see a good example, you don't have that as like a track. Like, it's not a pinpoint that you can go to. Some people just don't see the opposite side. Like, if I was just raising my mom and I didn't see my dad's side, I'd be a completely different person.
And then even sometimes some of the things that I can see myself like struggling with is that I saw what not to do, right? But it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see what to do, I didn't necessarily know what road to go down. I just knew what road to avoid.
Exactly.
Ooh, that was a good one. That's how I meant to say that.
Yeah, if we don't have the imagery, you don't know how to be, except for what you see on TV. Then, if you don't see it in your families, you're going off of TV, and even that's not real though.
Yeah,
that's made up.
Right. And my example of a love and affection towards women was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, I love that show. So to always see him have like this level of respect, or even when he was fucking up, he had some type of level of like accountability. That is kind of what I was going off of, which is why I'm probably the smooth player I am right now. God. Thank you, Will Smith. But these things were like really helpful to like to a child to know like, yo, it's out there. And I think that you know, we don't have to give them the bad examples, but we also have to go out our way to show and exemplify the good things that are out there in the world, and how to do it.
And I feel like we're getting better shows doing that now. I wish they would stop making all the black shows with the destructive families and stuff, but we are getting better imagery of that, and I think that's good, because again, if you don't have it in your household, where else you looking? You know what I mean?
And we're even having better accountability imagery than just like, hey, things are good, great black family. We know it's like, hey, things are good, but when these challenges come up, this is how you communicate. Mental health, like things coming up in like black shows and stuff like that, like love it,
right?
Love it.
We didn't have that.
Didn't have it.
There
was no mental health
50 years ago.
There's no mental health 50 years ago.
Beat your ass. That's gonna be your mental health. Get your act together.
Right. So growing up, right, you're about to be the prodigy of a child. You're about to be a child psychologist, right?
Yes.
Things are kind of tumultuous on one side, but good on the other side. So then, how does that lead into like first love for you?
My first love. I was thinking about this today. I was actually going online trying to see if I could find this dude. He wasn't online though. His name was Lorenzo though. Lorenzo was 6'4".
Talk about
like
it.
215, light skin, light eyes. Fine. I was 19. And I met him after a very tumultuous situation, like some crazy shit where it was like, okay, I needed to meet this person to let me know like everybody's not evil and dark.
Yeah.
So he kind of like brought me out of that, like, opened my eyes back up, because otherwise I feel like my heart would have probably shut down after what I had just come out of. And so he was just the nicest guy. He was the nicest, sweetest guy. And so I used to be Muslim. And so I remember when I met him, Ramadan had came up. And so he would wake up before sunrise and make me breakfast.
Oh.
While I go be making my prayers and stuff, and I come back and I got breakfast ready to go, so I can eat before the sunrise, and then I'm good to go for the day. Oh, but he was the sweetest man. We were only together for like 6 months, but that was my first love, and that was the only time. Because people always ask me, Nicole, do you want kids? Have you ever wanted kids? I've never wanted kids. But with Lorenzo, I kind of imagined it. Like, what if? And he already had a kid too at the time. I don't remember what his age was. He probably was just a couple years older than me, but he already had a son. But I thought about it. I was like, oh, I could do it with him. Yeah. But I already knew at 19 I did not want kids. And I don't know why. It was just, I think I was just born that way.
Until Lorenzo popped up.
Yeah. There was never another Lorenzo, because nobody else ever made me feel that. But that was my first love. It was something about him that was just so sweet and endearing, and he, like, just took care of me, made me feel good. Again, after coming out of something that was so chaotic. Yeah. And this felt normal and peaceful. So, yeah, that was my good time.
I have a theory about the, like, not wanting kids thing. Is that...
Okay, let's hear it. I'm a star seed. I'm an indigo child, they call it, like...
What's an indigo child?
It's like these people that we came here to, like, heal.
Oh, heal and help the world, not necessarily, like, be there for ourselves.
Help raise adults, not kids. Necessarily, yeah.
I just sometimes think that we kind of have a fear of fucking up. Right? So it's like we can see how bad shit got for us, and we don't want to give that off to a child. So it's like a real sensitive space. Like a child space is very sensitive for us. But when we meet the right person, then it's like, okay, then I have help in growing and growing this child or maturing this person in the kind of way that I want. Whereas if I did it by myself, I don't think I could probably pull it off. This is a theory.
That is a theory, I believe. For me, that wasn't it, though. For me, I never wanted to raise a kid by myself. I was like, that's crazy. Like, why would I do that? Yeah. So, growing up, I never dated anybody long enough to where I saw the potentiality for something more. Right. So, to me, if I wasn't dating for the end-all, be-all relationship, I was never looking for that growing up. I was just dating, right? Yeah. I'm just now going, I'm ready for my life partner, and I'm 44. I'm just now in my 40s making that decision. Yeah. So prior to that, based on the people I dated, I never went to have kids with any of those people. Not because they weren't great people, but I never saw that. So therefore, I wouldn't have had a child by now. True. So for me, that's why. And
so your prioritized mindset, whereas most women would be like family, children, stuff like that. They still want to do it anyway, not me. Yours was, I'm just going to help out the world, because that's where I said, I am a child psychologist. Or psychologist as a child.
I'm here to help the adults. We help y'all asses so y'all can raise y'all kids better. Really, that's how I felt. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's so amazing hearing the names of the first loves of people.
What was your first love's name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
You
know, if it ends with an E. Stephanie, Tiffany.
Yeah. Tiffany had my heart. Tiffany also broke my heart, but she bounced back, and I showed her that I was the one to love.
How long were y'all together?
Me and Tiffany went for about 2-3 years.
Okay, y'all was together for a long time.
Something like that. But I knew her since junior high school. Okay. Yeah. A lot of women were threatened by Tiffany, and Tiffany has no idea. Okay. Because I've learned through my 20s, you don't talk about the women that you first love, because women don't like that. But I've heard the Tiffany. We have another name on here, Danian. Danian, if you ever listen to this, Danian was just out here stealing people's women, and then also breaking Mila's heart, and Danian's come up 2 times on 2 different episodes, 2 different people.
We cannot be adding him to the episode now. We taking that out.
Fucking Danian. But all right, so we're in love with Lorenzo. Who's breaking our heart?
Like, who broke whose heart?
No, you.
Have I broken any hearts?
No, have anyone broken your heart or?
I would say I was heartbroken by the ending of that relationship, but I knew like why. Like it was something I didn't tell him, and so he felt the way. But I also feel like okay, it was supposed to end, right? It was just it was supposed to be the 6 months, but I felt heartbroken after that one because I thought that was going to be my man. Yeah. So I would say that was my first. I would say that was my only heartbreak where I was actually like sad after something ended. I feel like everything else I ended, or I was like, okay, this is time to end. Like this is not going any further. So outside of that, outside of Lorenzo, I've been good.
Yeah, that is great because some people, the way people would just be like, yeah, after this heartbreak, man, it shaped me for the rest of my life, and I don't know if I can trust love.
I ain't had anything that crazy. And then my last serious relationship with my ex-girlfriend, I was a little hurt by that one because I didn't know at the time. She said this, and she's the one that named me Nicole The Soul. But I was going through depression prior to us separating, and I didn't realize I was going through depression, but she left me during the depression. You know what I mean?
Hurts, yeah.
And then like the depression kicked in. And then I felt like she went off and was having fun. And I'm sitting over here like, why I can't get off the couch?
Oh, no.
Like, why am I in this invisible box? And then seeing her like, take off and do everything she was supposed to do. And I'm like, what happened to me? What about me? So that felt a little sad. But other than that, I've been good. I'm gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
heart strong. Yeah. Heart strong.
That is good. You need to have a strong heart these days and throughout life because the way life can shape your heart and maneuver and put you in spaces like, and that can like warp your mind into like what love is. I remember like not only having my heart broken, but I love being around women and like listening to girls and just like having female friends and all this stuff. Women can be ruthless.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some.
Yeah, so not that, like, having my own personal experience of, like, my heart being broken. I've had that, but also hearing about how they break hearts. And it put this fear in me of, like, yo, do I really even want to be in the love space? Or do I just want to be the man that's, like, loving women and just making them comfortable and then just going from women to women, just showing them that there's a better way for men out there?
Now that you say it, I'm like, I realize I probably actually broke a lot of hearts.
Nah, see, now we're getting to
I think I was a heartbreaker. My heart always stayed open, though. I don't know what that was, but I've never closed my heart down, even after things, or like somebody treated me bad, or, when people are ending relationships, people start acting funny. They start acting a little mean. They start acting a little different than how they used to. You're like, where'd this personality come from?
The exit personality.
So I've been hurt from that, but still, I've never let anything close my heart to where I'm like, I'm not looking for love anymore. I've never felt that, and I think that's a beautiful thing about me, is that I continue to leave my heart open. Like, I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's figure it out. Let's see what happens this time. New experience. Exactly. New person, new experience. Yeah.
I learned some lessons, so we're going to get it.
Yeah. And, it's always the heartbreakers that people love so goddamn much. What is about that?
They do be liking me. Because I got that good energy. I'm still a good energy. Like, I can come out of something and come right back, and I'm like, hi, how you doing? Yeah. Let me be the light.
Just gangster with the love. What is it about you, though? What makes you so lovable that makes people want to just, like, attracted to you?
I mean, you would have to tell me. You didn't met me.
But
I think it's, I would say, good energy.
Yeah.
And I'm myself. And that's literally, I only know how to be myself. And it's authentic. It's real. I just feel like it's just real. It's the realness. And I'm peace. I'm peace.
Yeah. I'm
not bringing no drama to nobody. So I feel like the peace, the energy, the good vibes, the fun. I'm very, very youthful. So I think that's attractive.
Because I definitely thought we were just the same age. Yeah. I've always thought we were. Actually, when you're around, I still think we're the same age.
That's everybody, right?
Yeah.
But and I have that wisdom. So I think it's because I can actually, I have this wisdom of like an older person, but I also have this fun of like a teenager. It's somebody in their 20s, and so I think just the mix of both of those kind of takes you for like a beautiful ride.
Now that you're saying this, and we're having this conversation, and I'm putting like this conversation and what I actually know of you, you feel fresh, like this bottle of water. I'm thirsty. I'm in this. The love space is dry out here. Right. The love space out here is dry, and then here comes Nicole, this fresh drink of water that's just like, hey, hi, what's going on? Yeah, it's cool. Nice smile. And I think that's what it is from like my opinion of like my observation of you. That's
what I would feel. I just made my dating profile again on Hinge, and everybody keeps saying you got good energy or you got good vibes. Yeah. Like that's usually the comment that people leave, like that, and that's the energy I also want to give off because I feel like that helps to actually weed out people on a lower vibration. And when I say lower vibration, I just mean they're not happy with their lives. Yeah. They don't have the positive mindset. So that's who I am. Mm-hmm. And that's just always how I'm going to show up. Even if I'm going through something, I'm still going to show up that way.
Right. And then the other part of it, which I agree on, and then people are so attracted to me with, is the being yourself, right? And when you know you got some shit with you, you kind of got to like put on the dating avatar. I got to show up as my best self, show all these good sides, and then when we get to like the nitty gritty and the ugly side, then we'll just figure that out. Yeah. But people like us who aren't walking with this baggage or dragging anything like negative with us from anything from our past, like it's still there, but we're not letting it show up to a way where it's detrimental in our relationship. So now I can freely just be myself, and this free self, this positive self, this smiling self is actually what people find a strong attraction to, and then they feel it. They don't know what it is, but they feel like, oh, definitely. Shit. I've been told, I've never seen anybody be more themselves than you, Orlando.
You and your woman, and me. We are ourselves.
Yeah,
we don't give a fuck.
No. And everywhere I go, I will always be myself because I know that myself is such a good person with good intentions.
And that's what it is. We have good hearts.
We do have good hearts.
We're like Care Bears.
We are just walking around with a heart in our chest, just glowing and shining through.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
No, that's who we really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll always be good in life because of that.
That is true.
We'll always have a place to lay our head.
We'll always
be taken care of.
Always be, and which is one thing that I was always taken care of by women. Like no matter what I did, broke a heart, whatever, or we never saw eye to eye, strongly can say that women always fucked with me.
That's beautiful.
One, I was being myself. Two, I was being honest. Love that for me.
I love that for you too.
All right, so we know that we don't like kids, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm about to be an auntie, so I'm gonna like my little niece that's coming into the world. 7 Elise, hey girl, hey niecey poo.
I can't.
Next week.
Oh really?
Next week. I just got my auntie delivery. T-shirt. I'm ready.
Yeah, we got to get you. The Good Moms got to get you some auntie merch coming up.
Got some too?
Yeah, they got auntie as fuck shirts, like stuff like that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna get you. I'm gonna let her know to get you something.
Thank you.
So we know kids aren't necessarily on the table, right?
No, not at all.
We have a good view of your dad and your stepmom. They were married.
Yes, they're married. Still married to this day. They
Beautiful.
Got 40 something.
A dream.
Or no. Yeah, they're 40 something. They're almost to 50.
Anything over 5 years is a dream for me, right? Yeah. So we have this example of marriage. Though, was marriage still in your like wheelhouse and thought process, even if kids weren't?
That was not either. Even that's new. And I feel like I maybe couldn't picture marriage again because I didn't grow up in it. Like my sister is married. She's been married for over 10 years now. My sister's 3 years younger.
Shout out to
and
her.
Then my brother is 8 years younger. Him and his girlfriend have been together to about maybe 5 years, and they're getting married. Like that's coming up next.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But they grew up in a married household with two parents who are like, it's actually a healthy household. Like, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy going on, but crazy outside of that, like the family, you know what I mean? We both got all that going on. So I'm just now, I don't know why. What was my mindset around that getting? I just didn't picture it. I didn't grow up thinking of myself in like the wedding dress and like walking down the aisle. And I think it was because I just didn't grow up in it. And I think it also like affected even just my worth. Like I don't know if anybody would actually want me to in that way. Maybe because I didn't see it from my mom. You know, like having an example and seeing it in her. But I'm just like just now. I thought I was going to have like a boyfriend, a girlfriend, be in an open relationship. Like, that's what I saw for myself, like in my 30s. And then I just switched that up and I was like, nah, I can be with one dude. I'm good with that. I just need that dude to just be like putting
Nicole
it down.
The Unicorn.
I was Nicole the Unicorn for a good little while, my 30s. But then I was like, I don't want that anymore. Like I just evolved, and I think because I was just around that, I knew other people who were in that lifestyle. Like it seemed appealing to me.
Yeah.
But as I stepped away from that, I was like, nah, I just want my man. I just want my man. You know, if you have a little girlfriend on the side every now and then, that's cool too. But I just want my man. So I can see it now. It's still not something that I dream about, but it's something I still want because I want to hang out with my married friends too. You know what I mean? You know, some married friends, they want to just hang around their married friends. And I'm like, I want to be around my married friends too, you know, and not be not be a part of the group and missing out on the married friend trips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see it for myself now. I'm ready to get married in case anybody's wondering out there. I have a beautiful left ring finger. If you want to, my nails are done.
Nice little vacant finger, just
Vacant
waiting
fingernails.
for some weight on it.
Ready for a princess cut diamond with a halo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let me get the timestamp at the 30-minute mark on this episode. Hey, listen to this, my brother, because this is what she wants.
Yes.
Did things improve, like growing? With you and your mom's relationship at this point now?
We are good now. We talk all the time. I call her all the time. I can sometimes say I love you on the phone. Mm-hmm. We just did a mushroom journey together last year.
Beautiful.
And that was, I was like, let's do some more work.
Yeah.
Her mushroom journey didn't kick into the next day, which was funny. She like went home. She was like, yeah, I decided to like smoke some weed and have a little drink. And she was like, then it just all came flooding in. So she had a delayed response to her journey. But it did work through some things. I had this, I feel like I have a even better relationship with my mom. Like I accept her and all that good stuff. I just be like, okay, that's my mom now. Yeah. I don't get mad at the shit she do. I just be like, that's my mom. Like I'm at that stage where it's just like, we good. The only thing though I noticed, I was like, I still don't feel comfortable saying I love you. But again, it was something that I didn't grow up saying either. So it just still feels weird. And then when I see other mothers and daughters, like even Mila and her daughter, I'm just like, that's so beautiful. I was like, I have no idea what that looks like, feels like. I can see it with other people, but I just never had it with my mom. So I wanted to do this mushroom journey to see if that could close the gap. Yeah. So there was one part of my journey where I had two facilitators, two friends that were leading our journey. And at one point I had got up and then like she sat me back down and she sat behind me and I like laid into her bosom. And then she just like held me and like rocked me. And then spirit, like whoever was talking to me, my higher guides was like, go do that with your mom. And so my mom was sitting on the floor laying down and I was like, are you sure? And they were like, no, go do that with your mom. And I was like, who is this talking to me right now? And I was like, go lay with I've never laid up, cuddle with my mom. So again, there was a lot of resistance. And then something in my head is saying, go do that with your mom. Go do that with your mom. And I'm just like, okay. And so I go over and I lay on my mom's chest and I can hear her heartbeat. And you know, when you're on mushrooms, like everything is amplified. Yeah. So I literally felt like I was in her womb. And then I could feel the energy, like our energies like mixing together. And then I was like, okay, do I get up? Spirit was like, no, stay there. And so I just stayed there and I laid on my mom for probably about 5 minutes. And I don't know what it did, but I feel like it did something. Like it bonded us in some type of way. And the funniest thing, my mom had no idea that was me laying on her. She thought it was one of the other facilitators because her eyes was closed. She didn't know that was me till after when we were talking about it. And she was like, oh, I thought that was something that they were doing like as part of the journey.
Just cuddling.
I was cuddling you. I did all that cuddling for nothing. But yeah, that was my I think my closest bonding moment with my mother, laying on her and hearing her heartbeat and being back up inside the womb, but externally. But yeah, we have a good relationship now. She lives out of state. She's lived out of state since I was, since my junior year in high school. She moved out of state and I stayed with my grandmother my last 2 years because our relationship was so bad. I was like, I'm not going with you. I'm going to stay here. You go do your thing and I'm going to stay over here. But we get along great now.
That is so good.
We homies now. We
That
can talk
is so
about
cool.
all the things. I call her about everything that's going on. She hypes me up. She's always like, so what did you do? You know, she calls, you know, how was the Kardashians? How was the party? Can you send me all the pictures and videos, whatever you didn't post online, like all that stuff. She lives vicariously through me now.
That is wonderful. I'm so happy that y'all have grown
Brought it back
and
together.
matured to this space.
Because I had to do all the work. I had to do all the work to make that happen.
You know, sometimes I think about like the one to say I love you to someone or to a parent, and like there's that hesitation there. I've come to find within myself that, excuse me, I've come to find that within myself that the thing that I want to prioritize to say and why I can't get to the I love you part is because I want to say you hurt me part. That's more prominent for me, and once I can get through that part, then I can get to the I love you.
That's what you think. I thought that too. It's like layers. It's
Yeah.
layers to this shit.
Yeah.
I've gone through so many layers where I'm like, oh, I forgive my mom, and I thought the I love was going to come, and then something else will pop up. What I found for me that's in the gap of that is still this judgment of where I would like her to be. And because she's not there, it's like you can't have judgment and love in the same place. It's like you got to drop one. And so I think the moments where the times where I do say I love her, it's because we had this really great conversation. Like I felt the connection. And then there's other times I'm like, that's my mother. You know what I mean? And then maybe I don't say it. But I think that's literally the only thing in the gap is me still having judgment. That even came up with my ayahuasca journey. First one I did, I had took my little drink, and then the first words out of my mouth was like, I'm so judgmental. And I was like, I don't feel judgmental about myself, though. And I was like, my clients, I'm not judgmental. I was like, I hold space. And then it was like, oh, I'm so judgmental about my mother. Oh, I'm so judgmental about myself. And that's when it hit me like, oh, that's what's in the gap. Because I actually wrote that for my intention, like, show me, like, what's in the middle of me and my mom. So it was the judgment. And so there's still little pieces of judgment that I have of where I wish she would get it together in some way. But it's like, I need to get it together in some way too. So if I hold that judgment for her, that means I'm also holding it for myself. And then also other people. Because whatever you hold for yourself, you're holding it, you're projecting it outwardly too. So
yeah, I have the best relationship with my mom that I think that I've ever had in my life. And me and my mom don't speak at all.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. And the reason why I never thought of never speaking to my mom before, but when things got so bad between us, I realized that whenever I thought of my mom, I would I would prematurely assume that the next time we're going to talk there's going to be an argument. Like I would have a 7 to 15 minute window of communication with my mom because anything beyond that goes into an argument.
Oh, yes.
And so I realized that when my mom just kept doing stupid shit that kept like upsetting me, I was like, I need to stop this now, because if I don't, I'm going to add on more negative memories than positive memories from my mom. And so it took a while for me to like get back into the like remembering the positive times that me and my mom have had. And you know, when I moved to LA and being around Luna, I started realizing naturally what inner child work is. And then just looking into myself, I started to regain my memories from my teenage years, which I had like this gap because that's when like shit was really bad between me and my mom. And so now that I stopped talking to my mom, I could not like predict or think about all the annoyances or the upsetting moments I'm going to have with my mom in the future that's not even there yet, because my mom is just constantly annoying me all the time. But now that I have no more added memory, it's like I can now relish and sit just and think about all the positive things. And on top of that, now my mom and Mila have a wonderful relationship. Like
good.
they speak. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't cut anybody else off from my mom, right? I want my mom to be happy, and my mom has it in her, but when it comes to like me and her, I just don't feel it. But now that we don't speak, I feel all of it. Like I feel like
That's
this
a
is great and
stage.
beautiful.
I like that you said, because that was the stage I went through with my mom, where I didn't talk to her for a long time, and then that was where it was best. So you'll move through that stage, but that's the stage with you know, getting over your mothers.
Yes, jeez, just getting over the moms, and just like
When you have your next kid, it probably will shift. Because then it'll be about the kid versus y'all's relationship.
Yeah.
Like, you'll let y'all's stuff go. You know what I mean?
Right. And I could have never, like, I've had my mom when I was a teenager and I was mad at my mom and hated my mom and all that things. But as an adult, as much as, like, I feel like my parents did me grimy, I never got to a point where, like, I hated my parents. I just always wanted them to just be better. And even thinking about my dad and all the bullshit that came with my dad, one thing he always said to me was, you know, be nice to your mom, right? And the shit just stuck, which is crazy because it's like, nigga, you're not being nice to my mom. You get it together.
That's why he told you to do it. He wasn't doing it.
Right. So, like, he's trying to put the job off to me. But the one thing that always stuck was always be kind, nice to my mom. So I never got to, like, the hateful part of it. But I wanted to always preserve at least some level of, like, positive memory with me and my mother.
That's really good because I don't know if most people think like that. I think especially if you had a good grandmother, your grandmother tell you to like your mother too. You know, like, respect your mother.
Yeah. My grandma's my hero.
But I think there does need to be a level of understanding and grace because, again, we don't know what our parents went through that make them how they are. And I think it's so important that if you want to get through these layers of forgiveness with your parents, you got to understand that they went through some shit that was 10 times worse than the shit that you think you experienced with them. And if you don't have compassion and understanding for what they went through, then how can you expect them to have it for you or anybody else? So, like, it starts there. And I think if we talked with our parents more from the angle of what happened to you and just went, like, deep dive into that and let them just kind of get that out and feel more for them versus just thinking about, well, our feelings.
The feeling part. Boy, you know, feelings is a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
And that was a very Neanderthal way of saying that. But feelings is such a thing because it was so hard for me to cry, so hard for me to feel, and I always, like, felt this, like, blockage.
I had that.
And when I sit into, like, when I did this cord cutting with my mom and stopped talking to her, and then I really sat into thinking about my childhood memories that I forgot, and then also falling in love with Mila, like, real, this is my person love. I started to cry. And I started to feel emotions, and I'm like, oh my God, this is what it feels like. One, crying is draining.
It's good. It's releasing.
It's really good, but it tires me out. That
makes sense.
If I drop a tear right now, I'll need to sleep for, like, the next 4 hours.
That's how much energy is taken up in your body, though. So it's like you want to actually get that out.
And I do, but, like, just realizing that going through these journeys and these feels and these memories and stuff like that, I have now regained my full array of emotions.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Miss Mia locked it up, which she's a mother, which I think that
helps. Yeah, because Luna definitely attributes to that. So it and, you know, it's also why I'm not cutting off the world from my mom because, like, I have feelings for her. I don't call my mom out her name, as it don't matter how mad or pissed off my mom would get me. Her name is Mom. Like, nothing changes.
I call my mom Sarah Ann. Yeah. Hey, Sarah Ann.
Right. So it's just all wonderful to see, like, how it all comes together when you actually, like, take a second to, you know, adjust and understand. And I can understand where my parents are coming from. My parents are coming from a third world country, like, back in the day. Like, it's rough.
They didn't get nothing you got.
None at all.
And will never experience it either. No. Except from the context of you going back to share what you've now found out about love and what you know about love. They'll be able to get that. Yeah. That's the gift, right? Again, we came through our parents for a reason, which makes us us. And you don't be the beautiful person that you are if you didn't have them parents. Yeah. At the end of the day, like, even though it seems like that was a shitty way, but you're not who you are if you didn't come through them, because you don't do the opposite thing. You know what I mean? And then you don't offer the gifts that you offer now to your fiance and your daughter and then your future kids. Like, so.
Ugh. And I was, oh my gosh, I was really trying to avoid like telling the story. But I recently was thinking about, and I don't know why this download came in. I saw myself at like my dad's funeral, right? And at my funeral, I see myself like on the stage and I'm sitting there. I don't know why, like it was just like on my mind. And I'm thinking about like, you know, what would I say like at my dad's funeral? And then I realized like I'm imagining and seeing myself say this speech and I'm realizing like, oh shit. No matter how fucked up my dad was or the relationships, and I was like, oh, I'm going to just do the opposite thing of my dad and I'm going to be better than my dad. The one thing my dad always said was, you know, be kind and nice to your mom. And I never realized that shit sat with me with how I treat women. So this whole time, I'm upset and I'm angry at my dad, and I want him to be better to women. I'm the oldest of 4 boys, and we all have different mothers.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but not compared to my grandfather who has 29 kids. So it's a big upgrade. But I'm sitting here at my dad's funeral, and in my mind, and I'm just like, oh shit, this whole time I'm trying to be not like you, and you are it. He himself is like real comfortable, as much of a Jamaican player. He is a smooth talker. He is and having all these women, like he is kind and nice to women. So as I'm sitting here like, oh, I just want to be the opposite of my dad and away from my dad and not thinking like my dad, and the whole time he is still being a father and directing me in the direction of being kind and nice to women. And the shit upset me so much. I broke out into tears thinking about this because it's like, you motherfucker. I was trying to not be like you, and I'm becoming more like you in that specific space when I just wanted nothing to do with you at all. And I was like, you got me, and I didn't realize it until after you passed away.
Oh,
but
wow. Oh,
in my mind,
and that's what you're saying.
in my mind.
Okay.
But now that I had the recollection, and he's still here, he's still alive and well. But now that I have the recollection while he's still here, that shit just blew my mind.
I love that.
That was a crazy download for me to have.
We are them.
Yeah.
We are them.
Yeah.
Just beautiful new emanations of them.
Yeah. Much better versions.
Better versions.
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be. It's literally supposed to be that.
Yeah. How would you define love?
Oh, gosh.
That's here.
Oh,
Yeah, fucking need a nap. I'm gonna need a nap.
I love that. That's right. Let them tears out over there.
Yeah.
Zoom in on those tears. Love. So many things I'm trying. To me, it's a feeling. It's a feeling. It's. I see you. I understand. I accept you. It's. I also think of it as like it's a comfortability to just be yourself with someone else, and then allow somebody else to be themselves. But it's this beautiful feeling. It's not describable for like when I think about it, because again, it's a feeling. What else is love for me? It's the joy, it's the smile, it's the memories of, the loving feelings. I can think back of like the love that I felt from my grandmother, which always felt so beautiful. I think of the love of my friends that I have who feel like family to me. When it's like I'm around them, I just feel so much joy and love that I necessarily didn't feel in my own family unit growing up, right? To know like, oh, I can experience this outside of my family. Because I used to think everything I had to feel with my family, and because I didn't have it with them, then things were fucked up. And then realizing like, oh, I can experience love outside of that. My friends, the people I attract now into my life, like that feels like love. Like just hanging out at your guys' house the other day, that felt like love for me to call and be like, what y'all doing? Okay, I'm coming over. Like that feels like love. Or like I took my brother out we went out to a basketball game the other day, and when I was younger, that was one of the things when I first started making money. I would take my brother out to these basketball games with like the Harlem Globetrotters and things like that, and I was just like, wow, it's 20 years later and I'm doing that again, and just me and him just hanging out, you know what I mean? Like that I just felt so much love from that, or knowing that he's bringing a life into this world. Like the love of that. I checked on my sister the other day, like, how you doing? And we just talking, and I was like, let me put more effort into building the relationships that don't necessarily feel as strong, and stop expecting other people to do it, or just kind of letting it lay by the side. But I think the love is it's effort. It's continuing to grow together, and just like enjoying one another.
And it's got range.
It's got so many layers of range. You know what I mean? It's a lot. But at the end of the day, I think it's connection. Connection. Care.
Connection and care, baby.
Connection and care. Like, I had a dream about a cousin the other day, and I thought of her, and then the words lifeless energy came out of my mouth, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I thought maybe she died or like something happened to her. But by me honoring the dream, it made me call her, and I hadn't talked to her in years. And then that led to us having like a 45-minute conversation, but also helping me tap into the love that she was missing. She wasn't feeling loved. And so I felt like I had to be tapped into my own love to acknowledge I just had this dream about a cousin, and then go check on her, and then feel enough love in my heart knowing this is my family member, not just somebody off the street. But I cared enough to go, because I know it's my family, right? That's the love. Like, I wouldn't do that with necessarily somebody else off the street. But because it's my family, there's a love there, a connection that made me reach out, that now we're connected even deeper, to where now I can help her. I can reach my hand out and grab her and say, I got you, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help you and your sister reconnect, and you know what I mean, bring our family closer together. So I think that love is just like caring to make everything just better.
Just caring.
It really is. Like, you got to care.
You got to care.
We're all connected. If everybody cared about one another, we would have a better world.
You know, that's another definition, because I feel like I realize that we all have a different way of defining care and how we care about something. When I care about something, the shit is fine china. It's porcelain. It gets very delicate, and that's what caring is. And some people just like can pick up and put down their care.
Yeah,
and it's like we just all have different ways of
like love is
what
even
care
consistency,
is.
even, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's taking care of yourself. It's taking care of yourself too. Yeah.
Because it starts in yourself.
It starts with you.
It definitely starts in yourself. How are you treating the ones you care about these days?
I feel like I'm doing even better. Like, that's been on my vision list for my own self around love, like connecting more with my family, having more community, connecting more with my friends. I feel like I've always been the friend that my friends, they choose me and they pour more love into me, only because I know it's because I need that, right? I need more poured into me because I didn't necessarily have it as much growing up. So I feel like the friends that I have are better lovers than me, but they teach me. So I'll be like, oh, okay. I look at how certain friends be, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna mimic that, or I'm gonna be like that. Or I wanna take the pieces of how she is with me, or how she grabs me in, or how she hugs me, and then okay, let me go do that, right? And I'm practicing the things that happen that come towards me. I'm able to practice and be like, ooh, that feels good. Okay, let me go do that. I like how she does that. Let me go do that. So I'm learning from the love that I receive from other people. But I think I'm doing good in love.
Yeah.
I'm doing much better as a lover of my family, my friends, and of myself, especially.
I would agree, because I definitely feel the love.
You do?
yeah. and I truly love it when you just come over and just chill. And that is one way that me and Mila love to show, like, the way we love people is we don't really got to do much.
Yeah.
Because we like to let you know that you don't need all of these things to be loved. You can actually just do nothing at all, and we will still love you the same.
Exactly. That's how I am. Like, just come over. You can just chill. We can just be each other's presence. The presence feels like love, right? Because you can just still be yourself. You know, me walking around with the titties out and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like love. I'm like, this is so beautiful.
You look at titties out. I'm cooking. Everything is
you
love.
Cooking. You got your body jewelry on. You know, I'm over here eating my little burger and fries.
Watching you on the Kardashians.
Watching me on the Kardashians. Watching my booty cheeks get bleeped out. I can't believe they play out. It all feels like love.
Yeah.
And then you guys just cheer me on. Like the support. That's the love. The support also. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like to amplify the good feeling. Yeah. And I feel like I need that because I don't celebrate those moments usually. So like you guys doing that made like it got me into it even more. And then people messaging me going like, I seen you on TV again. Like you always doing it. And I'm just like, okay, let me receive that. Because before my younger self would just be like, okay, on to the next thing. So I'm learning even to celebrate myself more in the things that I accomplish because it's not normal. No. It's definitely not normal. And I got to start realizing like the things that happen for me is not by chance, but because of the love that I do put out, the loving energy, and I feel like then therefore I attract amazing things in my life.
Love reciprocation is good. Yeah. How do you think that women can handle love better?
How can women handle love better? They have to start loving themselves more. I think the more we focus on ourselves versus outside of ourselves, meaning like your family or your friends or your kids, like if you're not loving yourself good enough, you can't even receive it. So that's how you have so many people that are burnt out. Like I see it all the time, especially in the work that I do. I work with women all day, every day. And so many people are like, I'm not making time for myself, or they're tired, or they're stressed out. They don't have any energy for themselves. And it's because they're taking care of everybody else. So I think women can love themselves more, receive more love by actually loving themselves and making themselves a priority, because I'm the vessel. Like I got to take care of me first. I really do. And again, because I am a solo person, I don't have the kids. Like I really understand that in a different way than a person that does have kids, right? Because like once you have kids, you kind of separate from yourself, I believe. So I believe that people come to me because I can offer the balance. I can show you like, hey, give more to yourself.
And you'll still have time for everything
and you
else.
Still will, because by doing that, you're teaching the kids and the family to take care of themselves. Also, like you got to do what you need to do for yourself. So yeah.
I was realizing like that last year I wanted more for myself. But I would prioritize doing work, right, as a way of like, oh, I need more for myself, so I need to like get to work and get to hard work and do work for other people, so I can get into a space of like, you know, whatever I need for myself in the future. But I wasn't going to the gym, and then I would purposely prioritize, all right, let me edit some stuff, get some work done, and if I have time, I'll go to the gym. And I was like, and then after a while, I knew it already, but then I realized I'm working ass backwards.
Everybody thinks work is life. It is so not.
No.
Look at the animals, the birds, the cats, the dogs. They are chilling. Okay? They're chilling.
Yeah.
Our life is so much more than work. My work is, I would like to work less than 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
I don't need to work more than that. I can, but why? I would rather fill my day with just doing things that I love to do. Taking a walk, sitting on the couch, eating my oatmeal, meditating the first 15 minutes when I wake up, spend a little time on my phone, go do my face, go wash my ass, go pee a few times in a day, feed myself, talk to some friends, go hang out with some people, be in community, go work out. I think the more time we spend on ourselves, you got to be more selfish.
Yeah.
So you can be more selfless.
Yeah.
If you be over selfless, you end up deteriorating yourself faster. And I've seen that too. Like if I look at my stepmom, my dad says my stepmom is the most selfless person, and she is, but she also, I feel like, forgets about herself too. And I wish she could receive even more, which she does. Like she receives so much of my abundance. My dad's like, my stepmom can have whatever she wants because she takes care of everybody else. But like her body hurts, and I'm like, I wish I could just go over there and just throw a big Reiki bubble on her, and then she feels all better again. You know what I mean? But if she gave more time to herself, like, you know, going to exercise and take care of herself, then her body would feel better now. But that's a part that she maybe didn't pay attention to because she was paying attention to everybody else, the family, the kids, everything like that. So I believe we are in a time, though, where people are realizing that we got to take more time to ourselves. And that's when I'm here to remind people, like, you got to spend more time with you. Even though that seems counterproductive, but it's so not. Focusing on everybody else is actually counterproductive to your health, mentally and physically and spiritually.
Yeah, on all types of ways. I really, I've come to realize that my mind, I don't know if it was just through like the way I was raised or where it came from, but my mind is confused and warped the difference between like what's selfish and what's selfless, right? And the things that I'm thinking is selfish is like, no, that's actually what you're supposed to be doing, and that's actually selfless. It's actually merciful to be able to do for yourself because now you have the energy to give to more people, and that extra energy. It's not the energy you're supposed to give off; it's the extra energy that you have. That's what people can have. And the things that I'm thinking is like selfless is like, no, that's really selfish because, you know, sometimes you do things thinking that you're doing this to help somebody, but it's really because you just want them in your life in a certain type of way. You're doing more for other people. You're doing all these things. It's like, no, you're not doing, and it's not coming from a good place in the heart. It's coming from, I just really want you around. And that's necessarily not always the best way to have people in your life. It's just supposed to come organically and natural.
Breathe it in. Breathe that in, people.
You know, I've been having a good time, like, reading people and doing this, like, mini fake life coaching with people and telling them about their love. And I finally feel like I got a good coaching to me and a good opening for myself.
Call me anytime. Call Nicole The Soul. That's what I'm here to help the people, you know?
Man. Oh, man. I'm going to have to get you a new moniker, Nicole the Love.
No Diddy.
Before we get out of here, this is something that I want to love, by the way.
So divine. Hey.
Blessings. I love to have people take this moment to dedicate some love to someone. You could just take a moment and send some love to anyone that you like.
I feel like that's going to make me cry. Who I want to send love to? I want to send love to my stepmother, my stepmom, Sandra, my dad, Windsor, my brother, Windsor Jr., my sister, Azuri, and then my two little brothers, Ryan and Kobe, and my mama, Sarah Ann. I want to send love to all my family, all my family that is where we're not connected. And I'm sending love that we are able to bring ourselves back together and not continue on in the tradition of our parents. So I'm sending love to that.
Oh, thank you, Lovey. This is beautiful. Oh, man, every single one of these are so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to promote? Let the people know your services and stuff like that?
Yes. If you would like to have some more balance in your life, to live a peaceful life, a transformed life, call me. You can find me on Instagram, Nicole The Soul Coach. You can also find me on Instagram, Nicole The Pole. My website is NicoleThePole.com. I can help you throw that ass in a healing circle. I can also put you in a healing circle. So you can contact me for spiritual coaching, Reiki, sound baths, Akashic records, pole dancing, retreats, holding space for. If you need any type of healing, anything you're working through, I got you. I'm here for you.
Oh, thank you for being here for us physically, mentally, and spiritually. You really, truly are an amazing person inside and out.
I care.
Yeah.
It was put in me.
Yeah. Please like and rate and leave a review and comment, like wherever we are. Please just like talk to us. We love to chat back. Mila has been killing it on the socials, right? she's really like said that this year she's really gonna take grip on our socials, and she's like dropping some heat on our Instagram. So follow us on Instagram at Hoochie Mom and Dad. But other than that, everything is love like this. The before, during, and after of falling in love. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
I never knew there was a
La, 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 like this.